What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Young and Herd. Another new setup for Carson and I, but this one might be a little bit more permanent. It feels a lot better to me. I'm liking the setup so far, but another episode of Young and Herd. NFL Week 8 in the books. The World Series is well underway. We are 3 games in. We got Game 4 tonight. By the time you guys watch this tomorrow, Game 4 will be in the books, and the Dodgers could be a win away from the World Series,
It could be.
or we could be tied up at 2.
Yeah, it's basically we already have seen 4 games played pretty much with 18 innings last night. Just really an incredible series, just how it started. Toronto gets off of that hot start with a victory in Game 1, 11-4. Then the Dodgers come back 5-1 Game 2, and then last night 6-5. Just it's an interesting series right now. I think this is a big game coming up for Toronto. I know we'll get to them later in the show here, but this is some good stuff we got today.
Yeah, we'll start with the NFL Week 8 recap, like we always do. Then we'll incorporate our segments. We'll have Overreaction, Underreaction, Panic Button, Guess That Player. I got a case I want to defend in court today.
Love it.
If that's okay with you. Welcome back to life, and then we will end with the World Series, just kind of overview and where we're at right now. But let's start with Thursday Night Football. As the Vikings visited the Chargers, and the Chargers came out on top 37-10.
Yeah, that's a nice bounce-back win for the Chargers. They got off to a hot start this year, 3-0, and then they come out with a little bit of they slide a little bit here lately, and then 37-10 Thursday Night Football. They're playing Carson Wentz. Wentz, I thought he looked okay. 15-27, 144, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They were able to get Jefferson the ball a little bit, but it really didn't matter. Chargers, I was playing Ladd McConkey, Gadsden, and Quentin Johnson in fantasy. Quentin Johnson ultimately got put to the bench, of course, and I got beat up a little bit. Also, Vidal, as I was playing against him at running back too. So it's a good day for the Chargers offense. Justin Herbert continues to look strong, 18-25, 227, 3 touchdowns out of 1 pick. So good showing for this offense and team in general.
Yeah, it was a really unbelievable showing by the Chargers offense, and honestly, the rookie tight end, I don't know, I don't want to butcher it. Is it Gadsden?
Gadsden, I think. He's Syracuse legend.
Yeah, he's been become one of Justin Herbert's favorite targets. 77 yards and a touchdown from the rookie this past week. So he's been getting a lot more action as of late. But also, just for the Vikings, I mean, you said Wentz didn't look terribly. Just the offense is not flowing together right now, I feel like. And especially when you fall behind so early and so large of a margin, it's very hard to keep up.
Yeah, 21-3 at half. That's a tough. You got an uphill battle to climb at that point in time. You're gonna have to start taking some shots down the field, taking some risks. Definitely throwing the football, and I just don't think Minnesota's got the passing game right now, specifically at the quarterback position, whether that's McCarthy or Wentz, to just kind of play that catch-up game.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Carolina, where the Bills took care of business over the Panthers, 40-9. And I think something to highlight is the Panthers continue to get run all over. James Cook exploded for 216 rushing yards, also had 2 touchdowns through 3 quarters.
Yeah, so that is an incredible performance. It seemed every single time James Cook ran the football, he was doing it at will. He's the first Bills 200-yard rusher since January 3rd, 2010. And he also put up the 4th most over-expected rushing yards according to Next Gen Stats since 2018. That's quite the outing. The offensive line was getting the job done. He was getting the job done. Passing game for the Bills still seems kind of weird, not 100% in the swing of things. Allen finished with just 163 passing yards and 1 touchdown pass. But once they start getting some guys back, Josh Palmer specifically, Kincaid only played 14 snaps. I think they're going to be in good shape. But defensively, you got to be thrilled if you're a Bills fan. I was personally concerned about Rico Dowdle and that rushing attack with Chuba Hubbard, but they slowed them down. Carolina's offense did some nice things in the first half, but eventually the Bills just started to take the football away, and the hill got a little bit taller to climb. They forced 3 turnovers in the win. That's what you like to see. A.J. Epinesa had a phenomenal interception. He's good for, it seems, 1 of those a year on a screen pass. So that's a nice win for the Bills. There's still some things to clean up, but this is a big week going forward for them with the Chiefs this week.
Yeah, and then kind of an unexpected one, but the Dolphins took care of business over the Falcons 34-10 in Atlanta. That was just weird.
I think both teams are really weird. We talked about we've given Mike McDaniel and that culture in that room fair share of, I think, content this year.
It was just last week. I
Right.
think we
We
were
were
talking
just-
about
we were
it.
just
We
talking
had a
about it.
long segment on the Dolphins and the control that Mike McDaniels and even just the players had over the locker room. Obviously, we talked about a lot of players just failing to show up to like player-only meetings, but man, oh man, they took care of business this week, and they said, screw Young and Hurd, we're going to go out there and win it this week.
Yeah, Tua looked like his normal self, I'd say, from past years. 20 of 26, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns, and most importantly, took care of the football, no interceptions. And 4 different wide receivers catch the football. Whenever you can do that, and it's just not one guy, I think you're in pretty good shape. Kirk Cousins got the nod for the Falcons. Penix was dealing with an injury. Kirk looked okay. Just seemed like that the offense was out of rhythm, out of touch, different guy back there. Numerous times seemed like there were miscommunications. And you want to talk about a winning formula, getting Bijan Robinson the football, your best player on offense, the ball only 12 times. It's not going to win you many football games. Again, they got behind as well, and you had to start taking some risks. But Falcons, they don't know what they want to be. One week they'll come out, play an extremely good football game, and then the next week they get blown out by the Dolphins. So it's just 2 weird football teams, I think, at this point in time. But I guess 34-10 is how that one was described this past Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll keep the line moving. The Ravens bounce back? Yeah, you heard me. The Baltimore Ravens bounce back over the Chicago Bears 30-16. And this is just so weird. Again, it's another weird one where we're talking about the Bears last week, and then they're like, wow, they could be legitimate contenders in the NFC North, and then all of a sudden they get blown out by the Ravens. Yes, Lamar Jackson was back, but still that Ravens defense very banged up.
Yeah, I'm always curious to see the spreads entering games. I think this was the absolute perfect bait line by Vegas. It was -2.5 in favor of Baltimore. I think
I'm a baseball
and their
dad.
mother would've
Just 'cause I
chosen the
didn't
Bears
go
to win
pro
this football
doesn't mean
game.
my kid-
70% of money, per my roommate, was on the Bears to win this game. And guess what? Baltimore comes out. A lot of people lose money. Baltimore just Snoop Huntley at the helm, 17-22, 186, 1 touchdown. Henry again can kind of contained this whole season besides that Bills game, 21 carries, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the Bears' 4-game winning streak kind of all comes for naught when you lose to a team that's banged up, like you said, with that defense for the Ravens, and you lose in that fashion to Baltimore. So, again, Chicago, just another team that very inconsistent.
Yeah, definitely. We will keep moving down the list. The New York Jets get in the win column and beat the Bengals 39-38. And I mean, just a massive win for the Jets. This was the first time since I think week 1 that the Jets offense really looked solid, that they really looked like they clicked on all cylinders. And, of course, it might have just cost them the number 1 overall pick.
Well, we were talking about Aaron Glenn, too, possibly being a one and done, and we'll see how long this losing streak goes. Well, say no more for the Jets. They get the win. 38-24, the Bengals had this one. Really, they lost this game here in the final few minutes. The Jets edge it out with a 1-point victory, and you could see how much that win meant to that locker room and that staff. Fields now 10 straight starts without an interception. I think that's very impressive for him. I still don't think he's quite the quality quarterback that'll get you over the hump or into the playoffs specifically. But that's a good game from him. And as for Cincinnati, that is just a brutal loss to have. You move to 3-5. There's a big difference between 3-5 and 4-4, especially with this wild card race, and you're missing your franchise quarterback and guy, and to lose to a team that was winless entering that Sunday, that's one that's a kick to the stomach.
Yeah, for sure. And I apologize. I'm probably going to have to cut this a little bit. Did you hear the music coming through?
No.
You didn't hear that at all?
No.
I'm just going to cut this part, but there was an ad playing on my computer through my...
I did not hear that, no.
Wow, that was really weird. I'm going to cut this out, but maybe,
okay.
or maybe not. That was like a blooper. It was so loud, and it was like because this was connected to the soundboard. I don't know.
I didn't hear that.
Do you hear yourself?
No.
You don't hear yourself at all?
No, I hear you, and I don't hear you
What?
either.
Okay, we're going to fix that.
But
testing new things out. Maybe I'll put some of this in. I forget what train of thought we were at.
the Bengals.
Oh,
blowing
yeah.
this one up here.
Yeah, the Bengals, man. I think it's just time to blow it up. They're
Think
3-5. This is just another year. I just don't know how much longer you can keep Zach Taylor employed.
I totally agree. I think he's going to be a candidate come Black Monday at the end of the season where they get rid of coaches.
What is his record without Joe Burrow?
It was something wild I said on the broadcast a few weeks back, but I want to say he had something. It's it's one of the worst, I want to say top 25 worst all time when it comes to quarterbacks, or excuse me, records without your starting quarterback. And the guy just can't, he's around, I want to say 300 win percentage or something like that.
He's
It's rough.
430-1 without Joe Burrow, excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So that number's gotten worse.
Yeah, and it's not even like he's got a terrible quarterback playing. I mean, Joe Flacco is very serviceable. We've seen Joe Flacco play well for the last, 3 seasons in that backup quarterback role. So something's got to change within that Bengals coaching staff.
Definitely. I think that Super Bowl run might have cost them actually a few years of Joe Burrow's prime. But I guess that's hindsight. It's 2020. Just an interesting situation with them with injuries, and the defense still looks terrible, and the quarterback play has been a big question for majority of the year. They go out and get Flacco, and it's just a weird, rough scene right now in Cincy.
Honestly, this was just one of those weird weeks, and I think this might be the last, really weird early in the season week we have before teams really start to get serious and heat up, because the 49ers lost 26-15 to the Houston Texans. And I mean, the 49ers, I felt we talked about last week, are just a top team in the NFL. And I mean, Houston's defense shut them down.
Shout out to Houston, though, because this is 3 wins now in their last 4. They got off to a really terrible start, just to put it how it was. Stroud had a good day, I thought, 30-39. He ended up with 318, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And you want to talk about a balanced offense. They ran the ball 36 times compared to 39 passes. 50-50 or so, that's going to be a nice winning formula. 10 players were targeted in that Houston offense, 4 of which had more than 4 receptions. 5 players with more than 4 receptions. And then CMC for San Francisco, only 11 touches on offense. He's your best offensive guy. You got to find a way to get him the ball, and that's something Shanahan does extremely, extremely well. So kind of an anomaly of a game, I'd say. But San Francisco, they tried to spread the ball out, just didn't have that much success with it. No player over 45 receiving yards. So Mac Jones looks like he's been dealing with an injury, a little bit banged up as well. So big upset, big win for Houston.
Yeah, and then I know a game we want to really touch on, because I think we're both a little high on this team, is the New England Patriots beat the Cleveland Browns 32-13. Obviously, Cleveland's issues really just kind of continue on here, but the Patriots and Drake May have really been coming together nicely.
Yeah, Drake May, with him, he's just an efficient quarterback at the position. Again, we talked about it last week. He set the franchise record for the Patriots with completion percentage in a game. This week, 75% of his passes are complete, 18 of 24, 282, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And they even got Trayvon Henderson the football a little bit more. He showed some promise this whole year. He finishes with 10 carries, 75 yards. And then a guy who Bills fans are definitely familiar with, along with Falcons fans, Matt Collins. He had 7 catches for 89 yards. Kind of a guy who can be thrown out there, do a lot of different things for you, and very versatile player. But defensively, again, this New England run defense has been excellent. They hold Judkins a little over 2 yards a carry on 9 attempts for 19 yards. And then they shut down the passing game as well for the most part, forced 2 interceptions. But with Cleveland, I wonder how long they're going to let Dylan Gabriel be the guy. He's got 700-plus passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with 78.4 passer rating only.
Yeah, I wanted to touch a little bit more on Drake May real quick, though, because, I mean, when you look at the season he's having, he's got a completion percentage of 75%. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards, 2,026 to be exact, and he's got 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and ESPN.com is projecting May to throw for 4,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I mean, if that's not good enough to be in the MVP conversation, then I don't know what is.
That's a killer stat line.
Yeah.
75% this far into the season is ridiculous in itself. Then you pair with it, he's not, as Drake May once put it, check down Charlie. So he's taking shots down the field. He's completing deep passes. Touchdowns are there. He's not turning over the ball. It's, for a second-year guy, that is just incredible stuff, and hopefully he can continue that going forward if you're a fan of football.
Yeah, I mean, and do you look those last 5 game stats as well? 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, and then just 1 interception, which was the mistake Sunday afternoon. So all around really good. Also got a passer rating of 133.7. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
just
so
utterly ridiculous.
That's over the last 5 games. But Drake May is playing some really good football, and I think the Patriots have really really put something together that's looking nice right now for them. And when you look at the standings, I mean, they're 5-2 in the AFC East, just a half game back from the Bills. It's exciting times for the Buffalo Bills, especially when you look around the AFC. Yes, you have some competitors, and it's very wide open, but I think they could either win the AFC East or they'll be one of those number one wildcard teams.
They're playing good football, plain and simple. You pair that with an easier schedule per se.
Yeah, that
down the
as
stretch.
well.
I know they got they got a few teams that could be on, upset watch, or they could take New England down. But New England, I give them a ton of credit because last year, a year ago, they were fighting for a number one overall pick, and here they are now, giving the Bills a real run for their money in the AFC East. And who's to say they can't even take this here down the stretch?
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll keep moving down the list here. The Eagles beat the Giants 38-20, but I think out of all the storylines you could talk about in this game, I think for the Giants rookie running back Cam Skattebo,
Yes.
that's the biggest loss. And just like I feel like it's a loss for the NFL. He was just been so electric to watch the last few weeks, just so fun. And I'm really hoping he recovers and gets well soon and bounces back from just a really bad injury.
Yeah, the guy was taking the NFL by storm, especially in the social media front. He was putting up some results on the football field as well, and you can just kind of see the toughness this guy has. His leg is all bent up, and he's like, help me up. So Cam Skattebo, that's a tough loss. I know that it's probably a difficult loss, too, in the locker room as well. And you can just see it deflated them a little bit as well when it came to the game Sunday, and they lose 38-20 to Philly.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm like so torn on Jackson Dart because it's not like he's playing super bad, but it's not like he's putting up these numbers where I'm like, wow, Jackson Dart could really be a good quarterback in this league. But yet again, I'm just thinking it's also the New York Giants, and that's where quarterbacks go to really fail. When you look at Daniel Jones and he probably put up similar numbers to Jackson Dart, if not better, and it wasn't good enough in New York, and then he goes to the Colts and is taking the league by storm. So it's very weird to see. And I don't know, what's your take on Jackson Dart?
I think he's a kid with a ton of potential. I'll never forget Daniel Jones' first start against Tampa. When he rallied the troops, they ended up winning that football game on a great quarterback draw at the end of that, and he was throwing the ball all over the field. And that just kind of fell apart for him a little bit after that. But I think that's a fair comparison from your end, Ryan. But I don't know if Dart is going to be that type of player. I think Dart's a guy who can beat you through the run and the pass. He's done a nice job, I think, overall so far. I think he gives you the best chance to win at the quarterback position. Russ had that phenomenal game against the Cowboys early, but other than that, it was kind of slim pickings for that passing game. I think Dart's got the respect of the locker room at this point in time as well. And even games that they're losing, they're more promising. And they really should have beaten Denver last week, and maybe the narrative's a little bit different with the Giants, but they go out. Philly, to be honest with you, just Philly's a better football team. Philly should win that game 8 times out of 10, and I think that was a case that we saw on Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw the Giants beat them on Thursday Night Football just a few weeks ago, and just for the Eagles to bounce back, respond that way, it's big for them, and I think they're really going to now run away with the NFC East, if not already, just with the way everything else is going.
Definitely. Look at the Eagles. It's 2 straight weeks now where Jalen Hurts has been absolutely money through the passing game. And this time, A.J. Brown was out this week as well. He goes 15-20, 179, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. And then Saquon Barkley, he seemed a little bit of a slower start to the year for him, but he picked it up a notch. And so did that whole run game for what it was worth. 14 carries, 150 yards, and a touchdown for Barkley. But the whole team ran for 270-plus yards as an offense. You're going to win a ton of football games when you do that. If you're the Giants, you're going to lose a ton of football games if you allow that. So be able to run the ball that consistently at that high of a level is very impressive.
And that was really important for the Eagles because how many times have we talked about that O-line just not as good as it once was?
And here we are.
And here we are. They're running for 274 yards. Yes, it's against the New York Giants, but I think the Giants' defense also is pretty special this year, but not on Sunday. The Buccaneers take care of business against the Saints, and they bounce back after the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Good for Baker and the Bucs, and I mean, really, it was the Bucs' defense and special teams. 4 takeaways and a pick 6. Pretty good stuff from them.
Yeah. Turnovers were the difference in this game, just plain and simple. Tampa Bay won the turnover battle 4-1. Anthony Nelson, have a day, the defensive end for the Bucks. He had a beautiful pick six, had 2 sacks to pair along with that. I think he led the league too in negative EPA when he was on the field. Of all defensive players qualified for that this week, and then ultimately it forced Spencer Rattler. He comes out of the game. They throw Tyler Shuck in there, 17 of 30, 128 and a pick. It just didn't really seem to be a needle mover for the Saints offense. But the pieces are there at the wide receiver position, I think, for New Orleans. Again, this is just, they're not a great football team. They don't know how to win yet. Shaheed and Olave combined for 17 catches, 138 yards. But outside of that, and with Kamara, they have a lot of holes right now.
Tyler Shaw before Shedeur Sanders really needs to be studied. I still don't understand that.
We haven't seen Shedeur yet, in all fairness.
That is true, but still, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. But nonetheless, I mean, Baker without really any targets because Mike Evans is out once again, and still no really, I think, is there an update on Chris Godwin if he's coming back this season?
I
don't know.
I don't want to speculate because I did see something, but I cannot remember exactly what it was. But whenever they could have, just imagine if Ibuka, Godwin, and Evans were fully healthy. I know where they were together at one point in time, but if they're fully healthy, that's a passing game. Pair that with Kate Otten, too, at the tight end position. That's a passing game that cannot be stopped.
Apparently, there's no definite return date, but likely for their Week 10 game against the Patriots. That's after their bye week, so they're on bye this weekend, and then when they return against the Patriots, that would be good to get them back because that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a great game.
Drake May versus Baker Mayfield. I love to see it. But nonetheless, I mean, Kate Otten continues to play well in that Bucs offense, and it was really a game where they didn't need to do that much to get the job done. And Baker did the bare minimum, didn't turn the ball over, and the Bucs came out on top.
Sometimes the defense will win you games, and they just did that. If Anthony Nelson would have had his pick six and the offense would have called it a day, they still would have won 7-3.
Yeah. All right. And then the Titans lost to the Colts 38-14 in Indianapolis, 7-1. If you told me beginning of the season, Indianapolis is going to have the best record in the NFL, I'd think you're insane.
I would have been right there with you.
Let me rephrase. The Daniel Jones-led Indianapolis Colts would have the best record in the NFL in Week 8. I just cannot believe it. Maybe I don't even know if I'd believe you if Anthony Richardson, but I would believe you more if you said Anthony Richardson.
I would agree.
But Mr. Jones continues to get it done, and I mean, the Titans are just in a spiral right now. I don't know.
The Titans, they're a lost cause at this point in time. It's just about development with them. It was clear from the get-go that they weren't going to be a very competitive team this year. But back to the Colts for a second. When they signed Daniel Jones, I'm like, okay, he's going to be the backup there. I know it was going to be a competition, but you have all the investment. And Anthony Richardson, he gets banged up. Daniel Jones takes over that team. And to start 7-1 and have the best record, to me, this win, I get it's Tennessee, but how they did it, it kind of cemented the fact that I think this team's for real. Indianapolis, just incredible. Jonathan Taylor's been an absolute beast. He leads the league in rushing. This week, 12 carries, 153 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's a touchdown machine, also leads the league in rushing touchdowns. But to pair that with a guy at quarterback who not only is just any game manager, but we've seen him have games where he was a game manager. We've also seen him have games, including this one, where he goes 21 of 29 for 272 and 3 touchdowns. That's a guy who's winning you football games. He's got 13 passing touchdowns on the year to 3 picks. It's just been lights out from Danny
and a passing touchdown in every single game. He's thrown for 2,062 yards, 13 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. Got a note, 2 of which came against the Rams, one of a top-tier team in football at the moment. But, I mean, the guy who's making long touchdown passes, too, had a 50-yard touchdown pass in yesterday's win. So, all over the place. He's playing well. Not so much using the run game as he used to in the past when he was on the Giants. But, nonetheless, I mean, the guy has really found a new home with Indianapolis, and we could potentially, I'm really hoping he stays healthy, and we'll see Daniel Jones play his first full season since 2022 when he brought the Giants to the playoffs.
It's a big knock on wood right there.
Yeah.
But Michael Pittman, how about him too, has possibly the catch of the year on a touchdown. But for Tennessee, just about getting Cam Ward right, trying to figure out if he's the guy. I think 1 year in an offense like this probably isn't going to give you your best probably accuracy in determining that. But overall, Tennessee is just a team that, hey, don't quit. Play the season out. Let's see how some guys develop that are younger, specifically at the QB position, and then try to get him some help in the offseason, whether that's through the draft or free agency, and just collectively be a more competitive team next year.
Yeah. All right. Let's hop into some segments. There's still 2 games left to talk about, but we're going to incorporate those in our segment. So it's time to break out the panic button and this week's panic button. And we're going to recap the Dallas Cowboys and Denver Broncos. But the Dallas Cowboys are this week's panic button team. And I think they've been on this segment before.
Yes.
And they've been such a weird team this year. And now they're in a new spot where they're 3-4-1. The offense has shown glimpses of being elite, but then also has showed glimpses of doing what they did at Denver just this last weekend. So let's talk about this game first before we decide on the panic button. The Broncos just exploded early on offense. They really got after it. They scored on 5 of their first 8 possessions on the Cowboys, and Dallas just couldn't keep up. And I just think Denver is really flipping good this year.
Well, when you look at the loss that the Broncos had the week before, I think it was a fairly safe bet that they were going to come out hungry and just quick to the whistle and just play extremely fast. And I think they did just that to start the game. 27-10 lead at half for Denver. Bo Nix is kind of on a heater right now, 19 of 29, 247 for 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. Denver won last week. Correction on that. But it's been an absolute heater. Dobbins, 15 for 1, a $111. Harvey, 2 rushing touchdowns as well. And Franklin, six catches for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. But, yeah, point of emphasis, start faster. It can't happen again like in the Giants game where you have to battle back and score 30-plus in the fourth quarter. They carried that trend over, and immediately right off the bat, it was just an electric show from the offensive group just in general.
I'm going to come out and take full responsibility for the way Dak Prescott played this week. I think last week I said he's a legit MVP contender. Goes out this week, throws 2 interceptions, didn't even have a touchdown pass. So I'm gonna throw the hand up. That's on me, Dak. I'm sorry. I think next week you're probably going to go throw 5 interceptions, Nathan Peterman style. So I'm sorry I put that jinx out there.
Well, known friend of the channel, Dak Prescott, clearly would have saw that last week, thus why he played so poorly.
Yeah, he actually did that on purpose. He was like, you know what, I really don't like that Ryan kid. He won't buy my jersey. That's why he did that.
And that direct correlation, for sure.
Oh, direct. I mean, he goes out there, plays like an MVP against Washington last week, and then just does the opposite against Denver. So really upsetting to see, and I'm a little hurt by it, but it's fine. We're gonna bounce back, and we're gonna go probably 8-8-1.
Okay.
And finish the year in the middle, and then we have 2 first-round picks where we're gonna pick in the middle of the draft, and probably have like the 26th, 27th pick. From the Packers, so it's fine. I mean, I'm already coping with it. We're cooked.
Yeah. Really? So you're letting them go here in the
No. Like, we're not going to make the playoffs. I think we're still going to show glimpses and win some big games, but I think to make the playoffs, there's so much work to be done.
NFC's loaded too.
That's what I'm saying, and there's just too many teams with a lot of wins in the NFC right now, and I think the playoffs are out of the picture for us. I don't want to press the panic button, though.
The Cowboys lose, America wins. That's how I'd phrase it.
Can we make a button where it's just like, I'm really sad?
I think that's...
and I'm going to sad watch the rest of the season? I'm going to press that one.
This is the appropriate time for you as a Cowboys fan, I think, to press that. Yes. Very appropriate.
I'm very sad. We're going to... And then, I don't know if you had a take on the panic button, but are you...
I'll just make it quick. At the Falcons, I think they're long gone. I think this is a team that, if you're going to be any sort of competitive in the playoffs or come even towards the end of the regular season, you got to show consistency. This team hasn't even come close to even the term consistency all season. I just don't think overall they're that well coached. I'm not a huge Raheem Morris guy. I think he's a guy that just sits there and stares at the camera the whole game with the same facial expression. He just, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the hire to begin with. I think he's a great defensive coordinator, but I just think the Falcons they're in trouble here, and they don't have enough at the quarterback position to tell me, even with our problems, I'm going to carry you to victory. I don't think Michael Penix is that guy just yet. I don't think I'm not sure if he ever will be, but that team, they got a ton of talent, and right now they're just underperforming.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there. Yeah, let's keep moving down the list here. Let's go on to, we're going to do a little early today, but welcome back to life. Carson, you're welcome back to life for this week. I know I threw you off. It's a little early.
It's going to be the whole Baltimore Ravens team because they are going to get Lamar Jackson back here sooner rather than later. We thought possibly last Sunday was going to be the time Lamar comes back. He was practicing full, and then he got limited Friday, I believe, and then they said, pack it up, you're not going to play Sunday.
Yeah, I was really upset because I had him starting in fantasy, and then he just didn't start. So
it was,
I lost this
correct. Well, that's tough.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for them, that's a big win. I saw something with Vegas odds that somehow a team like Baltimore is favored to win the division in the AFC North. I don't know how that's possible. I don't agree with that at all. But that's a nice win for them. Chicago is red hot coming in, 4 straight wins. Nice upset with Snoop Huntley at quarterback. He provides more of a Lamar Jackson-esque type of role player. Great athlete. Not a great thrower, but he can win a game or two when he needs to throwing the football. And Baltimore, that's a big-time win, and now you get your franchise quarterback back.
Yeah. My welcome back to life for this week is, I think I've been talking about them for the past few weeks now, Carson, and kind of hinting at they're going to be back sooner rather than later. We had a panic button on them, and I was like, talk to me in week 8. I'm not pressing the panic button on them yet, and I didn't. And this is why the Kansas City Chiefs, welcome back to life. My goodness, Mahomes runs the NFL. The Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. And, you talk about September, all these question marks. End of the day, when it comes time in January, the Chiefs are going to show up, and they're going to be playing in that big game in February once again.
I was right there with you a few weeks ago. I wasn't ready to push that panic button. I thought there were, again,
I knew if I hit it,
you were going to regret it.
Yes, and this is exactly why I didn't hit it. Well, maybe now if I hit it, maybe they would have fell off the face of the earth. Like Mahomes would have saw up and like, Ryan,
yeah.
I like that Ryan kid. For the sake of his take, I'm gonna press the panic. I'm gonna lose out this year, but no, the Chiefs have completely turned it around. They're just such a good team at home. They're 4-1 at Arrowhead this year, and Mahomes is just back to playing like Mahomes. Yes, he did throw 2 interceptions. That's gonna happen, but when it mattered most, he got the job done.
They're just a team, I think, that was Rice was suspended. Worthy was dealing with an injury. They weren't playing their best football either. They struggle to run the football. I still have a little bit of concerns about their run game. Clearly, it hasn't mattered lately. This is going to be a big – Pacheco's banged up. This will be a big week for them against the Bills. I think this is the Bills team who's typically beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and then obviously it's been vice versa come the playoffs. But something about the Chiefs, they just have that it factor. When you think they're down, possibly going to be out, it's never the case, especially come playoff time in December. In January, they turn it up to a different level, and they've done just that. They've gotten healthy, and they've played tremendous football lately, and they're a really dangerous team right now. And I'm not even ruling them out of the 1 seed at this point in time. It seemed a long shot just even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But right now, the Colts, I think they're an absolute wagon, but we've seen the Chiefs. They have the history in the past to show that they can come out with this 1 seed. The Colts do not. Chiefs, they're an absolute unit right now.
Yeah, I love the Chiefs right now. All right, we will keep things moving. Carson, do you have an overreaction, underreaction for this week?
I do. I think right now the overreaction, underreaction is James Cook is a top 5 back, if not a top 3 back in the NFL.
Okay, so I just looked up top 10 running backs according to ChatGPT. And they do not have James Cook in the top 5.
Well, unfortunately for ChatGPT, they are wrong.
And they got all the stats here, so let's go through this.
Okay.
And at number 1, they have Saquon Barkley.
He has been okay this year.
I agree. I don't agree with ChatGPT here. Bijan Robinson, I would say he's been a top 5 back this season.
Top 5, yes. I would not put him in the top 3 category.
I wouldn't put him at number 2.
He's a product of being in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs, he might be number one this season.
He's had a great year.
I'd
He's
have
had a
to
great
look
year.
at the numbers all together, but Jahmyr Gibbs, week in, week out, has really exploded. Derrick Henry.
Not even close. I don't even know if he's a
in
top 10 back.
No, not even. Josh Jacobs.
He's averaging less than 4 yards a carry for those keeping track at home.
Yeah, this is all 2024 C. I think this is wrong.
The C in ChatGPT stands for casual.
Yeah,
Clearly,
CMC.
he's been again dominant player on the. Don't get me wrong. He's
If he gets
been
going,
great this year. But for his standard, I think it's been a little bit of an underwhelming year, and that's kind of a byproduct of a lot of different factors. But that's a whole different conversation.
Okay, Kyron Williams. I'd put him in that conversation potentially in the top 5.
I still think Cook's better than.
I would agree. I think James Cook might be. Where does he fall? I think maybe I'm going Gibbs 1. Is that crazy?
I don't think that's crazy.
Gibbs 1 for this year.
I think Jonathan Taylor's number 1 in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I
know
would
where
say
he is on this thing, but
not even on here.
Okay.
Tony Pollard at 10.
no, they get chat.
All right, we're closing out chat. Screw chat.
It's got to stick to my math test. That's not cutting it. That's terrible. But
wow, what a bad list.
I would right now. I'd probably say Taylor, probably Gibbs, and then I'd go James Cook, and then Bijan, and
J.K. Dobbins maybe.
J.K. Dobbins has been good, but I don't
say
think he's there yet.
Judkins if he keeps this up.
Judkins has been top 10 back this year. I love Judkins. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats. JT is the leader. He's got 850 yards. He's averaging 5.9 a carry. But when you look at that number,
James Cook edges him out at 6.
He averages the most at 6 yards a carry of qualified people at the position. But, man, I'm going to give it to James Cook. He might be number 1. Is that crazy?
I don't think it's crazy at all. This year in particular, I think that's a definite probable case. I think Taylor still has him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But even dating back to last year, James Cook has been turning up the rankings week in and week out. It's been a fun trajectory to watch his development. And right now, I think he deserves some national media headlines.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Now it is time. Oh, fun one here. Guess that player. Carson, you have selected that player?
I have a player in mind for you.
All right. And I'm going to be guessing. For those of you who don't know, for Guess That Player, we get to ask 10 questions to find that player. We can use one internet check, one roster check once we get down to about question 8 or 9. Carson is 2-1 on the year. I am 1-1 on the year. I think. Who did I have last year? I think Alan Lazard.
It was Alan Lazard.
Week. Alan Lazard last week that Carson got. So this week I'm going to kick things off. Is he in the NFC?
No.
Okay. Is he in the AFC North?
No.
Okay. All right.
Just give me 1 second.
Already.
I just want to double check something on my player.
Okay. So what about the AFC South?
No. And what I thought about my player is correct, so we're good.
AFC West?
No.
So he's in the AFC East. Okay.
Yes.
How many questions have I used so far?
You have 4.
I've used 4?
Yep.
All right, let's narrow this down. Is this guy's team above 500?
Not even close.
Okay, so he's either in the Dolphins or the Jets.
That's a good question. Wow, that's
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Yeah. So I have 5 questions left.
Yeah.
Is this guy a wide receiver?
No.
Is he a running back?
No.
Is he at a skill position
No.
on offense? This is the first potential.
Do you want a hint?
Yes.
You're making a major mistake right now. That's like macro level. It's not a micro level.
I don't have the team
You're
yet.
assuming something.
I'm assuming he's on offense at a skill
Correct.
position.
Just
All right, how many questions do I have left?
you have 2 more questions, and then you have
Crap.
No, sorry, wait, hold on. You're at 8. So you have 2 more questions, then you have phone a friend with your computer. So
Okay, I'm going to use both questions here. I'm going to get the team, and then I'm between 2. So is he on the Jets?
no.
Okay, so he's on the Dolphins, and is he on the defense?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm out. I get to pull up the Dolphins' depth chart on the defensive side. Man, this is the first defensive player we've done.
It's
I didn't know if you were going to go I didn't know if you were gonna have a little fun and do a
No
special
kickers.
teams.
No, I was
Yeah.
not going to go kicker just yet.
All
I
right.
might save that one for you down the road, though.
All right. So I'm looking at the defense.
It's gettable.
I have no questions left.
No questions left.
All right. So for some reason, I mean, just the name Minka Fitzpatrick is sticking out to me. This is hard because can I look at a score sheet from this weekend?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna look at a score sheet from this weekend.
I don't know if it's going to help you very much, but
Okay, so he probably didn't do anything notable in this game. Damn, I really messed up. I should have just said offense. Okay.
it's okay. I respect the tendency pickup there.
Yeah.
You have to go defense, but
All right. Nobody had any defensive touchdowns. No interceptions. Okay. I feel like I'm not going to get it, I don't think.
if you get this, this is gonna be hilarious. It's a player
I
you
mean-
should get, but
Bradley Chubb sticking out to me. Chop Robinson.
for what it's worth, I thought about choosing Nick Chubb, but then I audibled about 5 minutes before we started the show today.
So is it Bradley Chubb?
No.
Ah, jeez. I'll guess one more here. I mean, am I missing something big that I'm looking at this depth chart? Is it Minka Fitzpatrick?
Is that your final guess?
Final guess.
No.
All right.
It is Matt Judon.
Who's that? Why don't I know him?
You don't know Matt Judon?
I don't think I know Matt Judon. Second string left.
Dude, this dude
linebacker.
has had so much pedigree. He played for the Patriots, the Ravens,
Really?
and the Falcons. I think he had
See?
like a 14-sack season a few years.
Wow, okay. And the Ravens. Wow, okay. Yeah, this guy Loki is him. He had a 15.5 sack season with the Patriots in 2022.
He wears these dumb sleeves too. That the only reason I noticed is because it wasn't this week, but it was last week. He had these orange sleeves that stuck out like a sore
Oh,
thumb.
jeez.
It was
Man,
terrible.
I stink.
It's all right.
Alright,
It's all right.
so
We'll give you an
I
opportunity.
fall under 500 once again. I'm 1-2 on the year. Man, I'm gonna make this hard for you next week.
Please do. I'd
gonna
love
make
it.
this hard for you next week.
I'm fired up.
Yeah. I gotta get you back to 500.
You do got to get me back to 500.
Man, now I'm sad. You made me sad for the end of the show.
Well, it's okay. Dak Prescott made you sad.
It's that too, man. All right, we got about 15 minutes left, so we will finish up our NFL segment. I have a case that I like to defend in court, Carson, and you're gonna do your best for the next 5 minutes to absolutely tear it apart. I'm just gonna give the
love it.
take, send it over to you, have you give your thoughts on it, and then I'm gonna rebuttal, and then we'll let you finish.
While
Okay?
you're making the sound, it sounds like it's the worst take of all.
No. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a pretty good take.
Okay.
I think it's a serviceable take. Here's my take. The Steelers' loss at home to the Packers proves their window is closed for playoff contention.
Hold on.
And also to add one more thing, it proves that Aaron Rodgers should hit the showers and hit the home and go into
Okay.
retirement.
For starters, Aaron Rodgers is an HR nightmare. That's besides the point, though. Okay, so let's just look at the Steelers' schedule coming up, and I'm gonna say who I think wins and who loses this. So they got the Colts. I think that's a loss. The Chargers, I'll say they win that game. Bengals win. Bears loss.
Really?
Bills probably loss. Ravens
With Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, I know.
Oh.
Okay, so for what it's worth, we'll say they split. So I'll say, because they play the Ravens twice, assuming Lamar's healthy in both games, I'll say they split. That's their final game of the year, too. So then they got the Dolphins. They could fall asleep that game and still win. The Lions, that's a loss. Pack that one up. And then the Browns, they win that. So they go 5-5. So right now, what are they? 4-3. So that gets you to 9-8. Hold on. Now I
I honestly think you have to win 11 games this year to get into the AFC playoffs.
You think so?
Is that crazy? Maybe 10. Maybe 10.
Okay, so right now the Bills hold the 5 seed. The 6 seed is held by, let's see here, maybe. Yeah, I had to pull up my phone, but I think it's the Chargers. So the Chiefs hold the 7 seed right now at 5-3. And then the Chargers are also part of that. That Chargers Steelers game is going to be huge.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one for sure.
You know, I could see this happening, but to me, so if you say the Steelers are out of playoff contention, and this is why I think you're going to be wrong. Who are they losing the division to?
The Ravens.
At 2-5 right now.
Yes, I think this was part of my take. Is the Ravens are going to come back to win the division?
Are you serious?
Why not? Realistically, the Steelers could win the division at 9-8.
That
Yes.
means that the Ravens would have to go 7-2.
Which they're very
7-3,
capable of
7-3.
doing. Very capable of doing.
Let's see who the Ravens have, just because this is part of it. I'm kind of curious as well. So they got the Dolphins. That's a
And
win.
Lamar might be back.
Okay,
on
so let's do
Sunday.
this with the Ravens too. So the Dolphins, they beat them. The Vikings, they win that game. The Browns, oh my goodness, they win that game. They beat the Jets. Oh my lord, they beat the Bengals again.
Yep.
We said they split one with the Steelers, so they're at 6. So then, according to our math, the only games that they'd have to win would be over the Bengals again, which is the divisional opponent. They could lose that. The
Could
Patriots
lose.
is tough, and then the Packers are tough. I like the odds of them winning one game out of those 3, though. So then it comes down to a tiebreaker.
And it's whoever has the most division wins, I believe. Which the Ravens, for starters, right now are 1-0 in the division. If they take care of business with the Bengals, they'll be 3-0. They're going to take care of business with the Browns. They'll be 5-0. And if they split with the Steelers, they'll go 5-1.
I didn't see the pathway.
And they'll have the
to this, but
tiebreaker.
I did not see the pathway.
Come on.
This
The
is
Ravens-
a really, really tough
I think my take is I think I should have just used the Ravens are going to win the AFC North.
Okay, I'll agree to a certain extent. I don't think that's an overreaction at all. And I know that's tough. I think your case does partially hold up. I think this is one of those, if it comes down to the Supreme Court, it's like a 5-4 ruling, one way or another. But the fact that we talk about Rodgers,
I think it's time for him to.
I would
Call it
disagree,
quits.
actually, to be honest with you.
I just don't like him. Let's just be real.
I will say this. I'm a Rodgers fan. I've always been a Rodgers fan. I think this guy, he still plays the game at an extremely high level, mentally specifically. But 16 passing touchdowns. The guy's 3rd in the league right now in passing touchdowns. 22nd in passing yards, but, what are you going to do there? 5 interceptions, like I said. The guy is also completing 68.3% of his passes. He's projected to finish the year with 39 passing touchdowns. That's ridiculous. The 12 interceptions, over 3,600 passing yards. I don't think that's a guy who's ready to hang it up yet. I think he's been better this year. He even was good with the Jets. If you're just going off of box score stats with the Jets, they just didn't win many games. It's just, I think Rodgers got one more in him if he wants it.
I got one more in me. I don't know.
He's been saying the last 5 years, though.
Their differential is 0 too. By the way,
I know,
Point
175 to
differential,
175, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like the Steelers, and I really think it'd be so funny if the Ravens just somehow won this division.
It would be Steelers on cue, to be honest. A hot start to the year, kind of you cool off a little bit towards the end, and then somehow, some way.
And they also
first
had
round of the
some
playoffs.
stupid wins in those 4 wins. I mean, the Jets week 1. Are you kidding me? They got so lucky to win that game. I forget who else.
Seattle,
did
they lost
beat.
31-17 week 2. Then they beat the New England Patriots. That's a good win, but New England turned the ball over twice in the red zone in that game.
And that was also early in the season.
Then
Doesn't
they
count.
snuck one out against the Vikings 24-21. Then
Who are very fraudulent.
Then they beat Cleveland 23-9. That's a good win, I guess. They lost to Cincy by 2. That's a game they needed to win too. Because that was back and forth. And then Green Bay, again, they were up. They got off to a great start
really
and then
tough.
blew that one. And Green Bay pulled away at the end. I don't know. The Steelers are such a wild card team, man.
They always do this. Even when Big Ben was their quarterback, they were the most fraudulent 14-2 team you'll ever see, and then they lose in the first round of the playoffs.
I don't know why this is even relevant to me right now, but I'm looking at Rodgers' rushing stats. He had 11 carries for 18 yards this year. If you eliminate his long of 10, that means he has 10 carries for 8 yards. Just incredible stuff. Anyway, back to the point. I think that does have some power in court.
Yeah.
Rodgers, I would disagree on, but I think the Steelers, I would not rule them out, them blowing this one up. It's just, it looks good right now in the standings. I don't know how long that'll last or how long it'll look good for them, but in a month, I think we'll have a good idea how this one's going to play out.
All right, let's move on off NFL. We got about a few minutes left. Yeah, just about like 5 minutes left. Talk about the World Series right now. I know we alluded to right in the beginning of the show, but my goodness, what a series it's been. I know. Did you stay up?
Not a shot.
I didn't stay up either. There was just no chance I was making it, but I did wake up to see Freddie Freeman's home run. Yeah, I mean, Game 4 happening about a few hours from now. How do you feel?
I think right now I'm proud of the Jays. I think that a lot of people had this Dodgers in 5. Dodgers are going to, school the Jays, but they've held their own to a certain extent. It's been a good effort so far. Again, like I brought up before, 11-4 the first game in Game 1, 5-1 the Dodgers take Game 2. And then last night, they take the Dodgers to 18 innings. They had a lead,
insane.
I believe, entering the 8th inning as well. So the Jays they're very well in this. But again, this is a huge game tonight. 3-1 and 2-2. That's a huge difference.
And especially 2-2 at Dodger Stadium or 3-1 at Dodger Stadium, a lot different.
That's huge. Exactly. That's a great point you just brought up too. But tonight it's going to be Shane Bieber on the mound. So far in the playoffs, 1-0, 4.38 ERA with 15 strikeouts. And then they got Shohei on the other end of the spectrum.
But Shane Bieber got a good night's sleep last night. Shohei didn't get to go to bed until who knows when.
God knows when, yes.
When that game ended, it was 17 hours from first pitch. So
you'd assume Shohei, let's say he gets a good night's sleep of 8, maybe 9 hours, right? So
not even.
I
think that's really hard. By the time, think about once you wrap up, he was getting interview post game, and he told his translator, he was like,
"I can't wait to sleep" or something.
Yeah, he was like, "I just can't wait to go to sleep tonight." So by the time it's LA traffic too. By the time he gets home to his house to get to bed,
he's probably at the 13-hour mark. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Probably 4 hours after the game ends, he probably gets to go to bed.
And they have him probably at the stadium 4 hours before,
maybe more. And I mean, just like my body, I mean, just generally, like if I don't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning, my body is still going to wake me up at 8 a.m.
That's a good point.
So I just think unless he really forces himself to sleep, I think he's going to be running off short rest. And if I was the Dodgers, I think I might throw him out there. I would hold him until Game 5 if they could. But I don't think they have the pitching after last night to do that.
It's just that's a good point about the sleep. I think Ohtani is just. Let's hope sleep's a factor if you're a Jays fan. We'll leave it at that because this guy can take the game over. He's just so incredibly special.
And he'll probably hit a few home runs while he pitches too.
Right, this guy's just
hit 2 last night, so
an absolute weapon.
Just crazy. I mean, this box score. I mean, Shohei last night got on base 9. He didn't get out once. He was 4 for 4 with 5 walks. That's insanity.
And then they were talking to Schneider after the game, and he's like, somebody asked, should we expect intentional walks to him going forward? He's like, yes, and then that was that. But, I mean, just looking at it, Ernie Clement had 8 at-bats last night, 1 hit. That's a separate conversation that we can have. But the guys that played, it's crazy. 9 pitchers for Toronto, 10 for the Dodgers. Talk about bullpen games,
one of those being Clayton Kershaw, pretty sick.
Right out of the pen too. But it's interesting stuff. And then you got Scherzer starting for the Jays last night. It's really just you get to see some of these veteran guys, and it's like wow, they're still playing at a high level, and just the outcome, 18 innings last night. My lord.
Yeah, insane. I guess so. When people watch this, it'll either be 3-1 or 2-2 in the series, and I mean, I guess just what can we expect from the Blue Jays if they can force this back to the Rogers Center, Carson?
I don't know. It's going to be tough because again, the Dodgers, I think they are a better baseball team, but you got to hope. Let's see here. So they got the probable starters. Let's see if They probably have nothing up right now. But you have to assume maybe Savage gets another game, depending on how this one goes. I know they love Louis Varland out of the bullpen. So it's, I don't know. To be honest with you, I think the Dodgers are going to probably take this one regardless of how this game goes tonight. But let's see here. What about Trey Savage? They got a headline coming up. They might have changed the pitcher since I looked up here. Let's see. Okay, so Trey Savage is starting tonight. It's not going to be Bieber. Interesting.
Wow,
So they must have just changed that somewhat recently. Trey Savage gets the nod. Speaking of the devil, a guy who's played at literally every level of baseball this year, just another quality story. But Savage versus Ohtani, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this will be good.
Be interesting.
This is going to be a great
game. Can't make it any
I'm
better
excited.
than this.
I just hope it doesn't go till 2:50 in the morning. Once again, I'm so glad I didn't stay up. I thought about it.
6 hours and 39 minutes last night was the game.
I considered. I just was like, no, I'm going to bed, and it was a great game when I went to bed. About, I don't even know what inning it was at this point, but it was about like 1, I think, when I finally called it quits on the game. But yeah, I think that's all we got.
Yeah, it's been a great show. We have a lot.
This was a good one.
We got the NFL carrying over next week. We got baseball. It might be over by the time we're there. Who knows?
Next week we got some Bonnie's basketball to talk about.
Of course we do.
We got to throw that in at the end of the show, hopefully. So, yeah, next week expect the NFL talk. Maybe if anything big happens in college football again, we'll throw that in there. But definitely Bonnie's basketball, college basketball as a whole is back. Honestly, we should have added some of that in today. But nonetheless, St. Bonaventure's got their exhibition against Alfred University tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. And then even the women's basketball team will play Division II Damon in exhibition. And you can listen to that on the Bonnie's Online Network. Carson and I will be on the call together. Really excited for that. We'll be on the call all season long for women's basketball. But thank you guys for tuning in to Young and Heard. We'll see you guys next Tuesday to recap NFL Week 9, talk some Bonnie's basketball, you name it. But we always appreciate you guys tuning in. This was Young and Heard, brought to you by Afterthought Sports. We'll see you guys next week.